So I've been researching more into this Rayshard Brooks killing, and it truly saddens me that this is another case where somebody like him is clearly in the wrong, and everybody is just blindly defending him just because a cop killed him. Now, I want to get this out of the way right now. I'm on the fence with police. I don't think all police are bad, but there is certainly criminal justice reform that needs to be done. Massive criminal justice reform that needs to be done. I'm talking mandatory body cameras on all law enforcement officials, no more window breaking, less use of excessive force, limit the use of excessive force, ending the drug war, hands down. Stop and frisk needs to be ended in these states. The list goes on and on. Now, with that being said, Rayshard Brooks, the cops were called on him because he was drunk in the McDonald's drive-thru. So the cops came and they questioned him. They gave him a sobriety test. His test was 0.108. The legal limit is 0.08. Now, he resisted arrest, which, no, that's not a justification for his murder. The justification for a police officer killing somebody is when their life is threatened or somebody else's life is threatened. Rayshard Brooks, he resisted arrest and he stole one of their tasers. And he proceeded to point that taser at one of the cops. One of the cops tried to use, the other cop tried to use his taser, and it didn't work. You have to understand that with tasers, that could have went one or two ways. One, he could have killed that officer because, for one, tasers, they are less than lethal. That doesn't mean that they are perfectly safe. We've had over 1,000 killings since 2001 with tasers. And even if it didn't kill him, the second thing could have been he could have taken their service weapon. Now try and put your shoes in that cop's shoes. What are they supposed to think? This man is resisting arrest. He's pointing a taser at them. This is not a case for us to point at when we're talking about criminal justice reform or police brutality. It's just not. And we really have to stop blindly defending criminals, because that's what he was. He was a criminal. Okay, people like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, those people were unjustly killed. This guy, he had no regard for human life, including himself. So when you guys use cases like this when they're clearly in the wrong, these Blue Lives Matter redcoats that praise the police and just blindly follow the police, they're having a field day with this, and rightfully so. This is the type of stuff that makes our advocation look like a joke. We have to learn how to stop blindly following one narrative, because all you're doing is just giving them brownie points and giving them things to work off of. I know you guys are hurting. Trust me, I am too. Everything that's been going on the past month, hell, since the coronavirus, things have been crappy, totally crappy. And now we're in a situation where we are protesting for things like criminal justice reform. But we have to do it the right way, and we have to do it with the right cases. What happened to Rayshard Brooks is unfortunate. At the end of the day, somebody dying, it's always unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. But this is not no victim. This was a guy who has disregarded his life and others for a very long time. Don't want to bring up his rap sheet, but his rap sheet, he was constantly getting into trouble. Constantly. One of his one of the things he was convicted of is cruelty against children and family battery violence. Now, I mean, I usually don't bring up rap sheets, but I'm just saying, this guy clearly had a record of not being a good person. People can rehabilitate. People do make mistakes. People like George Floyd, they made mistakes because he didn't keep breaking the law. George Floyd was not breaking the law constantly. He rehabilitated. Rayshard Brooks, no, he didn't rehabilitate. So we got to get it together, guys. I was literally called a racist earlier because I defended the police. That's the mentality. That's the mentality that just screws everybody. That is brainwashing. That is indoctrination. Everybody who disagrees with you is a racist. Then you wonder why race issues aren't taken seriously. We got to get it together, guys. Trust me, there is more than enough cases that we can use. Please, please do not use this case. This was a tragedy, but he did it to himself.